Ukrainian radicals decide to drop Zelensky, rallies across the country. Revenge of war. Ukrainian neo-Nazis promised to organize a new Maidan by October 6, if the President of the Republic, Vladimir Zelensky, does not abandon the so-called Steinmeier formula, under which Donetsk and Lugansk may receive special status as part of Ukraine after the elections recognized by the OSCE. In the next few days they are going to hold protests throughout Ukraine, from Lviv to Mariupol and Kramatorsk. True, so far they are not doing very well. On the evening of October 2, about 2,000 radicals gathered in the center of Kiev and even set up one tent, hoping to organize an unlimited protest rally, but by 23:00 everyone had gone home. Far-right rallies under the flags of freedom, S-14, national cause and so on. In addition, the protesters supported ex-President Petro Poroshenko. A movement against surrender was also created, which, however, so far included only the right sector and UPA band in Russia, as well as the Ukrainian volunteer army Detrai Yarish, arrested in absentia in Russia, MK. More respectable neo-Nazi organizations have not yet joined the movement. By October 6, the ultra-right promised to gather in Kiev all their like-minded people, from Euromaidan veterans to volunteers and war veterans in the Donbas. Having gathered in the capital, they will demand impeachment of Zelensky. To ensure the massiveness of the upcoming rally, nationalists will hold rallies in the regions until the end of the week. For example, on the morning of October 3 in the Dnieper and Odessa, about 300 opponents of the Steinmeier formula took to the streets, and by evening the connection of Kharkov, Lviv, Kherson, Nikolaev, Zaporozhye, Severodonetsk, Mariupol, Kramatorsk and so on was expected. In fact, we are talking about the attempt of the party of war to take revenge after the defeat in the presidential and parliamentary elections. However, unlike Euromaidan, the ultra-right are unlikely to support the West, which has already congratulated Kiev on signing the formula, and most Ukrainians are tired of the war. How the confrontation will end, MK found out from the expert. Mykola Kapitonenko, Ukrainian political scientist. Zelensky was held hostage to this process, because he promised peace, but you have to pay a price for it. He undertook to try to solve these problems at the beginning of the presidential term in order to have a temporary reserve in the next election, and if it doesn't work out, he could transfer the blame to Russia. Sooner or later, these rallies would begin. There is a whole bunch of unresolved problems around Donbas, so if there weren't a formula, there would be something else. It is worth saying that activists act in a very organized manner, regardless of whether there are many or few of them. They come up with understandable slogans and motivation. But I do not think that they will translate into something serious, since all previous Maidan became large-scale only with a combination of many factors. In particular, international support is needed, which in this issue is on the side of Zelensky. In addition, his election victory was very convincing, and since then little time has passed. Nevertheless, these protests must be taken seriously, and something must be opposed to them. But there is no certainty that Zelensky has a long-term plan for the Donbas. If further his policy with respect to these territories is unconvincing, then the situation may get out of control.